Hey everyone, this is Stevie here, and today I'm going to be showing you how to draw this. Now the reason I chose this is because of these little pieces right here. Now, if you notice there's no dimension, that you obviously know that these are straight lines, like they look like they're vertical or perpendicular to this plane. However, we don't have any dimension for how tall they are, where they go, or anything like that. So we're actually going to be figuring that out in this video. So let's start with a basic drawing of this thing. We'll start at this circle here. So we have 50 diameter and 100 millimeter diameter circles. So we'll start with that. So we'll create a sketch on our XY plane. We'll select our center diameter circle and we'll type out 50 and press enter, and then do the same thing again, and we're going to type out 100 and press enter. I'm just going to scroll out a bit and middle click to pan. Now, we see here that the distance between the center of this circle and the beginning of this base is 106 millimeters, and the height is 120. So let's draw construction lines all the way down there so that we can draw a rectangle. So 106 to the left and down 120 millimeters. So we'll click on a line and choose construction. We'll draw over to the left 106 millimeters, and then we will draw down 120 and press enter. And now we can turn off construction line and we can draw that rectangle. That rectangle, before we cut it out, is just 25 by 116. So we can do that pretty easily by using a corner rectangle, a 2-point corner rectangle. So we'll click here, 2-point rectangle, and we'll select here and we'll type out 25, hit tab and type out 116 and press enter. Let me just double check those dimensions, and that seems to be correct. So now we see that the first straight line goes 10 millimeters in from the right side, and then it's 96 millimeters till the next straight line. So if you do the quick math, it's simply 10 in, then 96, so that's 10 plus 96 is 106, so that means that there's 10 millimeters on this side as well. Or we're just going to dimensionalize it by saying that it's 10 in from here and then 96 over from there. So we'll do that. So we're going to draw construction lines once more, just because it makes it nice and easy. We'll draw something that's 10 millimeters and press enter, and then, oh, it changed the direction on us. So we'll draw this and do it this way. So we'll click on it, and that'll keep it. And then we'll do one that is, oh goodness gracious. So we'll click here, type in 10, and press enter. Then we'll click again on line and type in 96 and press enter. And now we're going to turn off construction line again and select our line, and we're just going to draw these out. We have no clue how long they are or anything, so for now we're just going to draw them. And now, just to clean it up, because it is getting a little bit hectic, we're just going to delete some construction lines. That way we can see what we're actually doing a little bit better. I'm just going to drag this dimension down here and this one over here. So now we have these two lines, and we don't know how tall they are, but we do know the radius of the curvature that connects to them. So what we're going to do is we're going to draw a circle and then make it tangent to the line and to this circle up here, just like we did in a previous video. So we're going to go and type in a radius of 45, which means the diameter is 90. So we're going to choose our circle and select anywhere really, and then just type in 90 and press enter. So now we're going to click on our tangent button up here and select this circle and make it tangent to this one. Then we're going to do the same thing again and make it tangent to this line. Now if I zoom in, you can see that there is some overlap on this line here. So we're just going to go to the trim tool and we're going to trim that off, and we'll trim the rest of this off too because we don't need it anymore. Now that looks proper. And we're going to do the exact same thing but with the other circle, which is quite a bit larger at radius of 149.1. So the way we're going to handle this is we're going to type in 149.1 times 2. It'll just make it easier. So 149.1 times 2 and press enter. Now this one you might notice might be kind of tricky to actually get to become tangent where we need it to be. So we're going to click on our tangent button. We're going to select this circle and this circle. And we're going to select, you'll see that the problem is it's on the outside. So we're going to Control Z that, and we're going to go to Modify, and we're going to select Move. We're going to click on this circle here, and we're going to drag it so that this circle's inside of it. That way, when we try to make it tangent, it's going to choose this inside part of the circle. It's going to make a tangent inside of the circle, like this. And that's good. And now, we're actually going to move it again because we want it, if we try to tangent it here, there we go. Actually, it worked, so we're not going to move it. But anyway, there we go. So that makes a tangent, and now you see that it has like an intersection point like right here or something. So we can go and trim the excess off. So we'll select that, and so you can see this is where it actually intersects, and that's where it chose is the proper place for it to be. And we'll just trim off the rest of this circle. We don't need it in here anymore. And so just like that, first we've got almost all the way there. It makes it really nice and easy to actually get those types of curvatures without knowing the dimension of this. And that we don't necessarily need that dimension ever. And it's just kind of interesting that you can work in this way. And it's nice to be able to see that kind of trick sometimes, I think. So let's keep going. We know that we need to cut out this little area here. And if you see this radius right here, that's just a fillet. So we're going to be doing that later. So here we see that it is 76 wide and it is 15 tall. And if again, you'll notice that it is directly in the center because it has 20 over here. 20 plus 76 is 96, which means 116 minus 96 is 20. So that means that over here is 20 as well. So we're just going to put this in the middle, and we're going to make it easier by using a center point rectangle. And what we're going to do is double the height and just make the regular width. So we're going to make it 30 tall and 76 wide. So we're going to choose our 2-point rectangle and switch it to center rectangle. We're going to find that center of this line right here, which is indicated by that little triangle. And we're just going to type out our width of 30 and our height of 30 and our width of 76. And press enter. And now we can go here to our trim button. And we're just going to trim away, Control Z, and we're just going to trim away the pieces that we don't need. And there you go, just like that. We can see we're just going to click on this and hit delete just to clean it up. It's a little easier to see this way. Wait a second. Oh goodness. I just realized that this we actually didn't bring this in by 10 millimeters. So we're just going to delete this and this real quick just because we messed up. So we're just going to draw this out, hit escape, and then draw a little circle. Oh, there it goes. Draw a circle of radius or of diameter 90 like before, and we're going to make it tangent again. We'll just do this nice and quickly. There we go. And then we're going to trim it again. Ta-da! Fix the problem. So now the last thing that we have to do is actually extrude this thing. Now you'll notice it's kind of weird in the fact that it goes both ways. So what we're going to do is extrude this piece and this piece at the same time, and then we're going to extrude this piece later. Oopsie daisies. How do I close that? There it goes. So we need to extrude it by 30 millimeters, and then we need to extrude this one by 10 millimeters. So the way we're going to do this so that we can get this centered in it is we're going to press Q. We're going to select this, and we're going to type in 30. But before we hit enter, we have to type in or click symmetric. But if you remember, when we choose symmetric, it doubles the units. So we actually need to use 15. And then we'll press enter. And now we'll go back here to sketches, and we'll turn on our sketch, and we'll keep drawing from there. So we'll press Q again, and we'll select this body here. Now if you saw, this one needs to be 10 millimeters wide, so what we're going to do is type in 5 and make it symmetric. 5 millimeters, and press enter. And finally, we need to draw this one. Now, the problem with this one is that you'll notice if we just extrude it in one direction, it's not going to be right. It's going to be in the middle of this. If we extrude it in both directions, it's not going to be right because it needs to be sitting flush with this side and go out this side. So what we're going to do is it's from this point all the way down is 40. So we're actually going to extrude it 35 millimeters because we know that half of this is 5. So 35 from this side plus 5 more and you get your 40. So we're going to extrude it 35 millimeters symmetrically. So we'll press Q, click here, and type in 35 and make sure that we choose symmetric. And press OK. Now you'll notice that, alright, it's not perfect. We need to fix that. I'm going to turn off the sketch so we can see this better. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at this face here. So we're going to go up here and create a new sketch on this face. We're going to select a circle and we're just going to draw a little circle in the middle here and then draw another one that clips to the outside and we're going to select it. And then we're going to click to object here after we press Q. My bad, I forgot to tell you guys that. So we're going to press Q there to get our press pull and after we've drawn the two circles, and then we're going to select to object and then we're going to click on this object. And then when we press OK, you'll see that it cuts it right down to that object. And there you go. That is how we draw something where we don't necessarily know how tall these legs are because it's not given to us. Oh wait, how could I be so silly? We forgot one other thing, that little fillet there. So let's do that. It has a radius of 3 millimeters. So we're just going to go up to our fillet tool. And we're going to select all 4 of these edges. They're a little tricky to get to sometimes when they're tiny like this. And there we go. And we're going to type out 3 and press OK. Here we go. Now that is completed. That to me looks identical to this one. And so that I liked to show this one just because it gives a little neat little trick. And I try to center my videos around that, finding something where it's kind of an interesting technique that normally you wouldn't know how to do, or if you don't have a dimension, maybe you're confused about it. But hopefully this was helpful. Please like and subscribe, comment down below what you'd like to see next, and we'll see you in the next video.